Good evening. I'm Eric Stahl, and this is CBD News with a special cannabis report. Yesterday, the DEA, or Drug Enforcement Agency, held an unannounced, unscheduled meeting in which it released its much-anticipated IFR, or Interim Final Rules, as they relate to the 2018 Farm Bill and pertaining directly to Delta-9 THC derived from hemp and its exclusion from the Controlled Substance Act. The policy was intended to help hemp industry companies and manufacturers to better move forward under the 2018 Farm Bill. Unfortunately, this bill is not as intended, and in fact is intended to destroy and destruct the industrial hemp industry as we know it. Wording inside this new policy is very deceptive, saying that it is merely continuing enforcement of DEA regulations and does not add any additional regulations to the industry. However, ladies and gentlemen, that is very misleading and 100% bull honky. This new policy greatly changes the way that hemp companies will be able to operate and makes a number of already deemed federally legal products now illegal. The 2018 Farm Bill, signed by President Donald Trump, clearly identifies cannabis sativa with less than 0.3% Delta-9 THC as industrial hemp and therefore federally legal. Not just that, but all isomers, derivatives, and cannabinoids also included in industrial hemp plants are also deemed legal. That's why this new policy from the DEA is in direct contrast with that law. By making Delta-8 and isomers illegal, as well as illegalizing work-in-progress wet hemp extract, the DEA is enforcing a policy that is not included in the 2018 Farm Bill and goes against the intention of the original bill, clearly showcasing its intent to continue to destroy industrial hemp for its dislike of cannabis as a whole. So you may be wondering, who is the DEA and why do they have so much power in our lives? Well, the DEA was created by a super trustworthy president named President Richard Nixon. Super trustworthy guy. The agency was created to give all enforcement and oversight power of U.S. drug policy to one single entity. Today, over 4,600 DEA federal agents are employed, making over $100,000 each of U.S. taxpayer money. In 2018, the DEA's budget was just over $2.1 billion. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me correctly. The DEA's budget is over $2 billion, and with our U.S. taxpayer money, we support 4,600 DEA agents that make over $100,000 of salary, taxpayer-funded salary, annually. What a world we live in. What a country. But don't worry, America. While the DEA is cracking down on cannabis and hemp-derived CBD, it continues to support its pre-approved American drug dealers. So while CBD and hemp may no longer be available or shortly come off the shelf, hey, you can always get this stuff and insurance will help you pay for it. I mean, that's what the DEA's job really is to continue to pave the way for the American pharmaceutical complex right over the backs of everyday Americans. Gotta love the federal government. No, ladies and gentlemen, this policy is a direct overreach of the federal government. This is the U.S. federal government telling you which products are best for you. This is the American government saying you can have drugs from these guys, but not natural remedies from these guys. This is the U.S. government saying, hey, we hate cannabis, even cannabis that doesn't get you high, and you can't have it. This is not the American way, ladies and gentlemen. America was built on freedom. America was built on give me liberty or give me death. America was built on don't tread on me. When you have their approval, you can sell drugs to America that kills people. You can sell drugs to people that makes them addicts. You can sell drugs to them with a list of side effects that is worse than the ailment that you're trying to cure in the first place. You can make and sell drugs that do anything and can harm and kill people as long as you have their approval. But cannabis? No, not cannabis. Cannabis, according to the DEA, is very, very dangerous. Let's remember that cannabis overdose are now on par with unicorn gorings at 0. That's right, no one has ever overdosed from cannabis. Shit, you can overdose from Tylenol, not cannabis. I mean, let's think about this for a second, guys. Amidst of a pandemic, amidst COVID-19, the DEA has an emergency meeting. Is it to discuss a new therapy? No. Is it to discuss a possible vaccine? No. Is it to discuss new data that may help us discover a drug that might help us confront the COVID-19 pandemic? No. No, the DEA held an unscheduled, unannounced secret meeting to further make hemp illegal, which they already made legal because, well, I guess they didn't actually want it to be legal in the first place. You tell me, America. Sounds pretty dumb. So let's get frank about this, America. You can have pharmaceuticals that kill you. You can have pharmaceuticals that make you an addict. You can have any kind of pharmaceutical as long as it's identified and approved by these guys. But try to grow your own medicine, try to go natural, and the DEA is going to shut you down. Okay, America, let's think about this. The Drug Enforcement Agency, they enforce America's drug policy. You would think that means all drugs. Alcohol's a drug. Does the DEA enforce policy on alcohol? No, they do not. No, we have another department for that. That's the Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. These are the vices America thinks that we are allowed to have. You can drink alcohol and get drunk. And you can smoke tobacco for relaxation. And you can buy as many AK-47s and M16s as you want and go have a ball. What you can't do, America, is smoke cannabis, marijuana, or CBD and relax, because if you're too relaxed, you might not want to drink alcohol, shoot firearms, and smoke tobacco. Today in America, medical and recreational cannabis is available at an all-time high. In fact, 2 out of 3 Americans have access to medical marijuana. That's right, over 66% of Americans have access to medical marijuana. And on top of that, another 25% have access to recreational marijuana. You do the math, guys. That's over 80% of US Americans who have access to marijuana on one level or another. But for the rest of us here in North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, and Tennessee, we can't decide whether 0.3% THC is too much. But the fact that we're sitting around haggling over 0.3% THC and isomers and derivatives of industrial hemp that does not get you high, that is not intoxicating, and does not kill people is absolutely ridiculous. It's 2020, and Canada is kicking our tail in cannabis exports. It's 2020, and Australia has national medical marijuana. It's 2020, and 80% plus of US Americans have access to medical or recreational marijuana, and the rest of us are sitting here like a bunch of bumps on the logs. I always end each broadcast with, stay chill, America. Well, America, we are chill. I don't think it's the Americans, the citizens themselves, that need the chilling out. This message is for you, DEA and FDA. Chill out on enforcing regulations on products the American citizens overwhelmingly want and enjoy and are asking to be legalized. Start working for the American people. Stop working for the pharmaceutical companies, please. I'm Eric Stahl. This has been CBD News, and it's a special cannabis broadcast. Thank you for your time. I'm done.